Now, let us discuss about solving problems involving different kinds of proportion. First, we have here example for direct proportion. So this example problem were already encountered from our previous lesson about distinguishing different kinds of proportion. So let's have this example 1. Problem: you can buy a bag of grapes for 160 pesos. If you have 960 pesos, how many bags of grapes can you buy? So this example is an example of a direct proportion. How? Because we have here a value which is 160 pesos, which can buy a bag of grapes. And then when we have more amount of money, you can buy more bags of grapes. So that means they are the number of bags and the amount you have are these two ratio are directly proportional. So let's now solve this problem. Our given. So let us take the bag as B1. So this we have one bag that costs the C1 for 160 pesos. And another given we have here cost, which is cost 2 for 960 pesos. So I just didn't write the unit, but it's in peso. So the required value, we are looking for the number of bags rather, or we can let it as B sub 2. The number of bags we can buy with a 960 pesos. Now, let's solve. So, when we have a direct proportion, we have this variation. B1 over C1 equals to B2 over C2, or X1 over Y1 equals to X2 over Y2. So these values are our terms for the direct proportion or for our proportion. So we have first the second term or the first ratio, then the third and the fourth term or the second ratio. So we have a value for our B1, so that is one bag. So we have 1 over our C is 160 pesos, so we have 160. That is equal. So since they are directly proportional, so as the number of bags increases, the number of bags for the second proportion should also increase. So we have this notation B2 all over our C2, or the value we have 960 pesos. So we are looking here for the B2. Let's solve. So in here, to solve this, we can cross multiply the two ratios. So we have 1 multiplied by 960 pesos equals to B2 multiplied by 160 pesos. So this equation proves the fundamental property of proportion, wherein the mean terms, the product of the means and the product of the extremes and the product of the means should be equal. So let's have 1 multiplied by 960, that is 960 equals to B2 multiplied by 160, so we have 160 B2 So to get the value of P2, we need to both divide the right side, this side and this side by 160. So 160 divided by 160, that is equals to 1. So we can just cancel it out. So we have remaining B2. The value of B2 is equals to 960 over 160. That is equals to 6. So how many bags do we have or can we buy with 960 pesos? That is equals to 6 bags. So this is equals to 6 bags. So now let's solve our second example problem. So here, the problem is, in making peanut butter, Risa uses 1 cup of peanut for every 1/4 kilogram of sugar. If she is given 10 and 1/2 cups of peanut, how many kilograms of sugar will she add to make the peanut butter? So this is an example of direct proportion. Why? So this involves mixing of the ingredients. So to balance the taste of the dish or the peanut butter that Reese is making, so it needs to have the direct proportion of the ingredients. So when you increase the sugar, the number of the cups of peanuts or the amount of peanuts should also increase. So let's have the solution first. Let's have the given. So we have here cups of peanut. So let's say it's P1, 1 cup. So for that 1 cup, we have corresponding amount of sugar, which is S1, which is equals to 1/4 kilogram. So another ratio when Risa was given more cups, so that is 10 and a half cups of peanuts. So now we are trying to solve the amount or how many kilos of sugar will she needs to make a peanut butter with 10 and a half cups of peanut. Let's solve. This example, so since it's directly proportional, the first ratio is equals to the second ratio. So we have P1, S1, and then P2. So we are looking for S2. So we have 1 cup for P1 over 1/4 kilo for our S1 is equals to P2, which is 10 and a half cups over S2. So now to solve our S2, we need to get the cross product. So cross multiply, we have 1 times S2 equals to 1/4 times 10 and a half. So this 10 and 1/2, this is a mixed fraction, so we can simply get its improper or turn it into improper fraction. So we have 10 times 2 plus 1 all over 2 is equals to 10 times 2, that is 20 plus 1 of 21 over 2. So we have here 1/4 times 21 over 2. Then we have simply S2. So anything that you multiply to 1, it's just itself, identity property. So S2 is equals to 1/4 times 21 over 2. So multiplication of fraction, we have 1 times 21, that is equal to 21 over 4 times 2, that is 8. So our S2 is 21 over 8 kilograms, or its mixed form we have 2 and 5/8 kilograms. How? So, 21 divide 8, we have 2, remainder 5. That is 1, 2, and 5/8. So, this is our S2, or the amount of the sugar needed to make peanut butter with a specific corresponding 10.5 cups of peanut. Now, for our last problem, example for direct proportion, let's have this problem. A typist can finish 400 pages in 60 minutes. How long will it take the typist to finish 20 pages? So, the typist is the one that encodes or documents in the computer. So, they are paid for their work. So, in this problem, we are dealing with direct proportion. Why? So, the more time the typist have, he or she can finish more pages of document. Or if there are just required number which is lesser pages for his work, it means that the time that it will take can also be lessened. So now, let us compute this direct proportion problem. So let's have first get our given. So what are our given here? So let's see, we have pages. P1 for the pages. So we have 400 pages, and the time it takes for the typist to finish 400 pages is 60 minutes. So our time is in minutes. Then we have given also the other for the other ratio, which is the P2, which is 20 pages. Now we need to find P2, because the problem is how long it will take the typist to finish 20 pages. So let's have the solution for this problem. So we have P1 over T1 equals to, second ratio we have P2 over T2. So we are looking for T2, we have P1, P1 and P2. So we have P1 which is equal to 400 pages, then our T2 is 60 minutes. So we're not writing the unit since we will have the same, or they will be the same. So P2, that is 20 pages over P2. So let's now get the cross product, multiply. So we have 400 pages multiply by P2. So time in minutes. Then we have 60 times 20. So we have 400 pages. So we have 60 minutes times 20 pages. So we are going to write the unit to observe the cancellation of minutes. So we have here 400 page T2 equals to 60 minutes times 20. That is 120 minutes. So for us to get the value of T2, we need to divide both sides by 400. That is in pages. So just let us write 400 pages. So we have 400 pages divided by 400 pages. That is equals to 1. So we just simply cancel it out. So the remaining is T2, or the time, the second time. So we have 120 minutes pages divided by 400 pages. Sorry, this is not 120, simply 120. This is 1,200 minutes rather. So 60 times 20, that is 1,200. So 1,200 minutes pages over 400 pages. So 1,200 divided by 400, that is equals to 3. So pages, the unit pages will be cancelled. So we have 3 minutes. So for the typist to finish the 20 pages, to type the 20 pages document, he or she needs 3 minutes. So this is our final answer.